cursed monkey toy that brings death every time it drums. But what if it never dies? This is the haunting story of a monkey. Welcome to the Cine Clarity YT, where we bring you the stories behind the scares. The film opens with a man named Petey, clad in a stained pilot's uniform, nervously clutching a peculiar object as he steps into an antique shop. In his hands, he holds a toy monkey, but fear is etched across his face. What haunts him? The answer will soon unravel. Perhaps you, too, have faced a moment in your life that instilled a deep-seated fear. Were you able to escape its grasp? Petey approaches the shop owner, pleading to return the monkey, insisting that his children would despise it. But what fuels his certainty? Is it genuine concern, or merely a desperate attempt to rid himself of the toy? As the tension mounts, Petey reveals the chilling truth. Whenever the monkey begins to drum, calamity follows, without fail. The monkey appears damaged, its hand frozen in mid-air, poised with a drumstick. Then in a heart-stopping moment, it begins to drum. Petey recoils, terror flooding his senses as he scans the room, bracing himself for the impending doom. Has he faced this horror before? The answer lies in the chaos that ensues. An arrow suddenly pierces the shop owner, and as it retracts, a gruesome spectacle unfolds. The man's intestines are drawn out with it. The sight horrifies Petey, propelling him into a frantic attempt to incinerate the cursed toy. He knows the truth, and as the flames lick at the monkey, we wonder, will he succeed in obliterating this harbinger of doom? Time marches on. Petey's children grow, but their father is conspicuously absent. Why? Did he truly destroy the toy? His wife, Lois, believes he simply stepped out to run an errand, never to return. But is her assumption correct? Perhaps you're beginning to piece it together. Could he have become yet another victim of the malevolent monkey? As time marches on, the twins, Hal and Bill Shelbourne, navigate the complexities of childhood, growing up under the watchful eye of their mother. Bill, the elder by a mere 3 minutes, often wielded his age as a weapon, bullying his younger brother with relentless cruelty that left Hal yearning for solitude. In his darker moments, Hal fantasized about being an only child, believing that such a life might spare him the torment of his brother's taunts. Yet, those were mere daydreams, fleeting illusions that never materialized. But then, one fateful day, everything changed. In the dusty confines of their attic, the twins stumbled upon a mysterious box labeled Grinder Monkey. Intrigued, they pried it open, revealing a toy monkey nestled within. Confusion washed over us. Hadn't their father melted it down? We had witnessed its destruction with our own eyes. The answer to this enigma would unfold in due time. But for now, the monkey sat before them, its round eyes with crimson rings around the pupils staring directly into their souls. Bill, ever the dominant twin, seized the toy and turned the key. In an instant, the monkey's grim smile emerged, its hand poised to drum. Yet, an eerie silence followed. Nothing happened. Why the delay? Perhaps it was biding its time, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its secrets. The scene shifts, and we find the boys in a car, accompanied by their babysitter, Annie. As Hal opens the door to climb in, his heart sinks. There it is again, the monkey, its sinister grin and raised hand ready to drum, lurking in the shadows of the vehicle. Upon arriving at their destination, the atmosphere is charged with tension. The cook, a flamboyant character, flirts with Annie while preparing a meal. And then we behold the monkey, perched within the confines of the car, shrouded in darkness, biding its time, and suddenly, it begins to play that haunting melody. Hal was engulfed in despair. An ominous event loomed, and then it unfolded. The cook, flaunting his prowess with the blade, executed a move that left a slender ribbon of blood gracing Annie's neck, her smile fading gradually until her head succumbed to gravity. Hal and Bill's mother, amidst the solemnity of the graveyard, imparts the harsh truth that life is finite, that all must confront this reality, and that death is inevitable. In a bid to lift their spirits, they danced, seeking solace after the ghastly incident they had witnessed. Hal found himself ensnared in a web of humiliation, courtesy of Bill's betrayal, as he laid bare their family secrets. Bill's taunts at home were equally demeaning. Each bar from Bill struck Hal's heart like a dagger, as if his brother had forever viewed him as nothing more than a blunder. Yet, in the depths of his turmoil, Hal began to ponder whether that monkey was somehow entwined with the dreadful demise of Annie. At school, Hal once more encountered the scorn of his peers, instigated by Bill, which ignited a fury within him. In a moment of desperation, he wished aloud before the monkey for Bill's demise, then turned the key, and the monkey showed its teeth again as it prepared for the drumming, and the music commenced. But it was not Bill who met his end. No, this time, it was their mother who fell prey to the creature, the doctor labeling it a case of a boomerang aneurysm. The children were left shattered and emotionally wrecked. Yet Hal understood the truth of what had transpired. He understood that once the key was turned, the fate of the drumming and the choice of whom to kill rested solely with the monkey. Following the burial of their mother, the twins took up residence with their Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip. At night, Hal dismembered the monkey and disposed of its remains in a garbage bin, ensuring it would never be seen again. But was this truly the conclusion of their tale? They relocated to Maine, far removed from their previous home. Yet, during the night as he sat in the room, Bill noticed something gazing at him from outside the window. Someone was watching him. He peered intently into the darkness, and there, barely discernible, was the monkey, intact and grinning. The twins deliberated over the bizarre occurrence, as Hal recounted how he had sliced the monkey into pieces. If that were indeed the case, then how was the monkey whole again, and what sorcery allowed it to return? Perhaps it was a sinister, demonic monkey toy possessed by an evil spirit. Bill, however, remained doubtful and resolved to test the assertion by turning the key. The monkey grinned once more. The next victim was their Uncle Chip, who met a gruesome end. He was slaughtered during a camping trip, trapped in a sleeping bag, and trampled by 66 stampeding horses. He was reduced to mere pulp. The boys returned the monkey to its box, fully aware that it was a devil in the guise of a toy. They secured the monkey within the box, locked it tight, and cast it into the depths of the well. 25 years slipped by, and one fateful night, Auntie Ida heard music echoing through the air. Who could it be? Yet, it was the same infernal melody emanating from the basement. Whenever the monkey drums, something bad happens. Armed with a gun, she descended the stairs. The music ceased, and nothing was visible in the darkness below. As she ascended, the stairs crumbled beneath her, causing her to fall and sustain grave injuries. While attempting to remove the shards of glass, she caught a whiff of gas. As she sought the source, the oven ignited, engulfing her head in a furious blaze. She bolted outside, but stumbled, and a wooden signboard impaled her skull. What a horrific demise. It had returned, and now, no one was secure. Hal had matured and was employed at a shop. He requested his boss for an early departure, as he needed to meet his son, Petey, whom he saw only once a year. Upon arriving at his ex-wife's residence, he discovered that her new spouse had chosen to adopt Petey, marking their final moments together. At Aunt Ida's home, we witness a young man seizing the monkey toy from the estate sale, as it evokes memories of his father. Yet that was not the sole reason for his acquisition. He intended to sell it to someone. But to whom? Who would desire such a fiend, and for what purpose? Hal embarks on a vacation with his son, Petey. That night, he experienced a nightmare of plummeting into a well where the monkey attacked him. He awoke, filled with terror. Then, his phone rang, and his brother informed him that Aunt Ida had perished in an accident, and that he should verify if that monkey had returned. As they conversed, a current surged through the swimming pool nearby, and a woman who had just dived was obliterated. A signature demise, reminiscent of the monkey's wrath, sent Hal into a panic, urging Petey to rise as they were about to depart. After vacating the motel, Petey bombarded his father with questions about family, but Hal hesitated to respond, resorting to lies for some. Petey revealed that he was aware of his adoption and wished to cherish every moment left with Hal. That night, Hal endured another nightmare, where his mother cautioned him never to harm his family. He awoke to find Petey missing, igniting fear for his son's safety. He sensed danger looming over Petey, for the monkey had returned and someone was aiding it. Yet, soon enough, Petey returned unharmed. They arrived at Aunt Ida's residence, where they encountered a woman named Barbara, the executor, who presented them with the property. She informed Hal of an estate sale scheduled for Sunday, but things began to spiral into chaos thereafter, as fatalities occurred daily from that point onward. The first to depart was none other than Aunt Ida herself, swiftly followed by the grim procession of daily fatalities resulting from ghastly accidents. As Barbara struggled to pry open a locked cupboard, Hal was ensnared by the sinister strains of music echoing through the air. Whenever the monkey drums, something bad happens. He implored Barbara to refrain from opening the door. Yet in that very instant, the door swung open, and a gun concealed within the cupboard discharged, shattering Barbara into countless fragments. It was evident. The devilish monkey was selecting its victims, and an accomplice lurked in the shadows. But who could it be, and what was their motive? The police mandated their stay in the town, as they were integral to the ongoing investigation. Hal scoured the house for the elusive monkey, but it remained hidden from view. Just then, the phone rang. It was Bill. Hal recounted the dire circumstances, and during their conversation, he realized that Bill was also in town, but abruptly, Bill severed the call. Hal rifled through the telephone directory, searching for Bill's name, but it eluded him. However, when he searched for the term monkey, he stumbled upon a peculiar entry, Mrs. Monkey. He dialed the number, only to be greeted by a voice message from Bill, declaring that he had acquired his beloved monkey and there was no need for further contact. This revelation unraveled the mystery of the deaths for Hal. It was none other than his brother, Bill, who had come to understand that Hal was the one who had turned the key, leading to their mother's demise. Then, the truth unfolded before our eyes. After they had cast the monkey into the well, Bill embarked on a quest to reclaim it, seeking vengeance for their mother's death, yet it eluded him for a quarter of a century. Finally, when he possessed it, he set his deadly plan in motion to eliminate Hal. Meanwhile, a man named Ricky, who had sold the monkey to Bill, visited his home, pleading to return the monkey as it stirred memories of his father. But Bill, consumed by rage, dismissed him. Enraged, Ricky returned home, retrieved his father's uniform and gun, and stepped outside, ready to confront the darkness. Hal summoned his brother for a confrontation, desperately attempting to instill reason within him, urging him to spare innocent lives. Yet, his words fell on deaf ears as his brother retorted that if Hal wished for him to cease turning the key, he must bring Petey along, so he could turn the key and slay his father, just as Hal had done to their mother. Hal then spoke to his son, expressing his desire to keep Petey away, fearing the dark influences that clung to him. Suddenly, a knock echoed through the air. The police had arrived, but upon opening the door, Hal was met not with officers, but with Ricky clad in a police uniform. In a shocking turn, he took them hostage and transported them to Bill's residence, where he instructed Petey to sneak inside and steal the monkey, knowing Petey was small enough to slip through the pet door. With no other option, Petey complied, for his father was the target. Inside, he navigated a maze of traps, ultimately encountering his Uncle Bill, who cunningly deceived him into turning the monkey's key. Hal and Ricky soon noticed a massive beehive looming before the car, and as Petey activated the monkey, a grin spread across its face. The game he adored was on the verge of commencing. The hand lifted, poised for the music to begin. The beehive, dangling from a branch, descended closer to the vehicle, and as the monkey initiated the melody, Ricky inadvertently discharged a bullet. Hal's gaze fell upon the windscreen, now marred by a gaping hole, the bullet having pierced through to the beehive. He watched in horror as the bees stirred, and in an instant, a swarm of thousands surged through the shattered glass, invading Ricky's mouth. Overwhelmed by the buzzing horde, the bees began to erupt from his face, melting it away and leading to his demise. Hal emerged, calling out for Petey. Bill, realizing the monkey had not fulfilled its deadly purpose against his brother, became agitated. His singular desire was to eliminate Hal, so he commanded Petey to turn the key once more. But upon Petey's refusal, Bill struck him, sending him crashing to the ground. Bill commanded the monkey once more to eliminate his brother, attempting to compel the creature to begin drumming. Yet, the monkey's strength was overwhelming. It cast Bill aside. As Bill tumbled, the monkey positioned itself to play the drum, glaring at Bill with fury, its round eyes brimming with animosity. Whenever the monkey drums, something bad happens. It commenced drumming with a relentless ferocity. Suddenly, Bill was jolted by screams and shouts from the crowd. What was happening? Then, he witnessed a plane crash, bodies plummeting through his roof. Hal entered, confronting his brother. After a heartfelt exchange between siblings, Bill came to understand that Hal was not to blame. He, too, had lost their mother. Just as the brothers began to unite for the first time, the monkey resumed its drumming, and a cannonball struck Bill's head, obliterating it. Hal was in disbelief, yet the monkey was relentless, and death loomed inevitable. Hal and Petey took the monkey with them, knowing that leaving it behind was perilous. No matter their efforts to destroy it, the monkey would always return. As they drove, they witnessed death and chaos all around. The monkey's influence continued to wreak havoc. They realized that keeping the monkey close was their only rational choice. Stopping at a traffic signal, they spotted a spectral figure on horseback, death itself. It glanced at them before continuing on its path, a stark reminder of how close they were to the end, yet they survived, for it was not their time. Determined to release their trauma, they chose to embrace life and move forward. In the distance, a bus filled with jubilant cheerleaders celebrated, only to be struck down by a passing truck, a grim conclusion illustrating that death arrives unbidden, regardless of our joy or sorrow. Thus, we must cherish our time on this earth, for our moment may come at any instant. Death doesn't knock, it crashes, and the monkey proves you never really escape fate. If this story gave you chills, hit subscribe and check out our next breakdown. Another twisted tale awaits.